I'm going to give you $15,000 towards a new car.
Man.
On the hit show Undercover Boss, you can find out about the most wonderful acts of kindness. Get ready to be moved as bosses go undercover to give life-changing donations to their workers who deserve it. Paul Quintal, the president of Alfred Angelo, extended his assistance to his employee Leanne, who was preparing to marry her long-term partner. Quintal's generous actions not only enabled Leanne to have her dream wedding, but also significantly improved her prospects for the future. Moved by Leanne's dedication and love for her boyfriend,
next year I'm marrying my girlfriend, so...
Quintal surprised her with an incredible offer. He ensured that not only Leanne's wedding dress but also the attire of her bridesmaids were of the highest quality, guaranteeing an unforgettable wedding day. In addition to expressing support and acceptance of Leanne's relationship, Quintal's gesture promoted inclusivity and emphasized the significance of love.
Once they found out about my sexual orientation, packed a bag and went to someone's house and slept on a couch.
But the surprises didn't end there. Quintal went the extra mile by gifting Leanne a substantial sum of $25,000 to contribute towards a down payment on a house. This act of generosity not only showcased Quintal's belief in Leanne's ability to achieve her future goals, but also provided her with the necessary resources to establish a solid foundation for her life with her partner. Quintal's actions underscored the importance of understanding and compassion in the workplace. By recognizing the value of Leanne's connection and appreciating the diversity within his workforce, he demonstrated his commitment to inclusivity and support for his employees.
Importantly, your fiancé.
Thank you so much.
Furthermore, Quintal's financial assistance towards Leanne's home deposit showcased his dedication to enhancing the lives of those who work for him. His willingness to go above and beyond the call of duty for one employee exemplifies his deep care for their present and future well-being. Todd Peterson, the CEO of Ivan, was introduced to Will, an employee whose life had been severely touched by his wife's sickness, on an episode of Undercover Boss. Will's unrelenting dedication and lengthy working hours to help his wife during her difficult journey moved Peterson to go above and above to alleviate some of their concerns.
I start at 10, I'm off every night, 10:30, 11 at least.
After revealing his true identity, Peterson offered to pay for Will's wife's reconstructive surgery, an act of remarkable generosity that displayed his sensitivity and compassion. Will was having trouble paying his bills, so Peterson went above and beyond by giving him $15,000 for a new car as a surprise.
She had cancer, so she had a big scare. She beat it twice. When she was going through her struggle with cancer and stuff.
Peterson not only relieved Will and his wife of a significant financial burden by covering the cost of reconstructive surgery, but he also provided them with the opportunity of a new beginning and the ability to regain their lives following their devastating cancer battle. Peterson's additional gift of $15,000 for a new car showed his understanding of Will and his wife's financial struggles. It not only offered them safe transportation, but it also symbolized Peterson's commitment to improving their standard of living. Through his compassionate gestures, Peterson demonstrated the transformative power of empathy and support. His acts not only alleviated Will and his wife's financial burden, but also gave them hope, encouragement, and a reminder that they were not alone on their journey. Former Diamond Resorts CEO Stephen Kluberg went undercover on an episode of Undercover Boss and met Randy, an employee who was struggling to make ends meet. Randy's bankruptcy condition inspired Stephen to take action, going above and beyond to relieve Randy's financial load and offer him a fresh start.
We sold it, and then they just filed bankruptcy.
How much did they owe you?
About $240,000. And planning on that for retirement.
So you have to go back to work.
That's what we're doing.
Stephen discovered Randy's true identity after learning of his significant financial issues, most notably his $150,000 mortgage. Stephen's unexpected decision was prompted by deep feelings of empathy and compassion. Randy's significant financial obligation was erased when he paid off his mortgage in full. Stephen's kindness, however, did not end there. Stephen provided Randy with an extra $50,000 because he recognized how important financial stability would be for him while he rebuilt his life. Randy could breathe a sigh of relief after receiving this big gift, which he could also utilize to achieve his goals, protect his future, and deal with any other pressing difficulties that had occurred. Stephen's selfless act emphasized the influence of a compassionate leader on the lives of his employees. Randy was given a new lease on life when Stephen released him from his crushing debt, allowing him to face the future with renewed hope and confidence. Stephen's actions demonstrated the need for workplace empathy and cooperation. His efforts not only aided Randy monetarily, but they also demonstrated his concern for his employees and how seriously he took their well-being at work. As demonstrated by this episode, leaders who genuinely care about their followers can have a dramatic impact on their lives. Stephen's compassion and willingness to go above and beyond demonstrate the transformational influence an empathic leader can have on their team members. Damon, one of Paul D'Amico's employees, was the recipient of a beautiful episode of Undercover Boss in which D'Amico, the president of Moe's Southwest Grill, exhibited his incredible generosity by bestowing presents that would change the direction of Damon's life.
My mom fell on some bad times where I ended up getting custody of my daughter. I packed up everything and just moved 20 miles out the city because I didn't want to take her out of her school, bring her down here.
Right.
Before that, I used to live in the car.
As the two worked together, D'Amico discovered that Damon was dealing with the problems that come with being a single father. Damon noted how difficult it was for him to get a babysitter for his daughter, which motivated him to begin bringing her to work with him. He had resorted to sleeping in his car until he could finally offer a safe home for his child. D'Amico was moved by Damon's dedication and affection for his daughter, and as a response, he opted to make a number of outstanding contributions.
Subject right now?
Reading.
It choked me up. I think about my daughters and how you want the best for them.
First, he provided Damon with $15,000 to buy a reliable car for them to use, ensuring their convenience and safety. D'Amico then surprised Damon with a $20,000 cash gift, understanding the financial burden of great daycare, allowing Damon to provide the best care for his daughter while he worked. D'Amico was well aware of the high cost of high-quality daycare. However, the acts of kindness did not stop there. D'Amico also displayed his commitment to Damon's daughter's future by donating $20,000 to the development of a college fund for her. With his unselfish and wonderful act of compassion, D'Amico made Damon's life simpler by assuaging his fears regarding his daughter's education and opening the way to a more promising future. The emotional response Damon had to these unexpected donations proves the significant impact they had on his life. D'Amico's acts of kindness not only alleviated Damon's immediate circumstances, but also demonstrated the importance of empathy and support in the workplace. In this episode of Undercover Boss, Mitch Model, the CEO of Model Sporting, offered his employee Angel a series of life-altering awards to express appreciation and gratitude for everything she has done for the firm over the years.
My first impression of Angel is I'm blown away. The understanding how important customer service is, and it's great to see a CEO of things that I totally believe in.
Angel's unwavering loyalty to the company, as well as his tremendous contribution to the organization, inspired Model to express his gratitude in an extraordinary way. First and foremost, in recognition of Angel's constant commitment and the enormously good impact she had on the company, Model presented her with a check for the staggering sum of $250,000. Angel's efforts were not only understood by this monumental gesture, but she also acquired a stronger feeling of financial security and opportunities as a result. The unexpected did not end there. Angel was promoted to the position of assistant manager after Model was impressed with her leadership, talents, and dedication. Angel was given this promotion, which she earned not only because her exceptional abilities were recognized, but also because it recognized her ability to contribute even more to the organization's success. Model displayed his commitment to Angel's development and well-being as an employee by offering her a $14,000 raise.
Mr. Modell, CEO of Modell Sporting Goods.
Oh my God.
This increase in pay not only rewarded her hard work, but also proved that Model believes in her abilities and ability to grow in the post. Angel's life was certainly affected dramatically as a result of the large monetary award, promotion, and advancement that she received all at once. It not only validated her worth as an employee, but it also provided her with a sense of pride and pushed her to continue pushing herself to perform at a high level in her profession.